You just heard from founder and CEO Jennifer Fitzgerald. Her company is called PolicyGenius. It's a new platform for millennials to shop for insurance by bringing the process online and focusing on individuals' needs. Our panel today, David Aronoff, our judges, Flybridge Capital General Partner. We have Amy Wu joining us. She is, in fact, from Newscred. She's Director of Business Operations. And Scott Kurnit, right next to me here, the founder and CEO of Keep.com. So, David, you're in the hot seat. What did you think of the pitch?
So I thought it was a great pitch. I think you did a great job. And I guess, one of the big questions to me around it is the level of competition and the commoditization in the insurance industry. And so that's something that I think you see the ads for insurance all over the place, every kind of insurance. And so how you guys think about that and differentiate is probably the thing that I'm most concerned about learning.
That's a great question. And when we first started looking at this space, we were worried about that too. But if actually you dig a level deeper, it's really around auto insurance that's driving a lot of the spend, a lot of the online traffic. It's what makes insurance the most expensive ad word on Google. But there are verticals, and these are the verticals that we're playing in. So life insurance, disability insurance, pet insurance, renter's insurance to start, where there's less competition, particularly in the full service broker model that we're doing, right? So everything from advice all the way to getting a quote and then buying a policy. We're bringing that online end to end. We don't sell leads. We're not a lead generation site, which is most of the sites that you see out there. So we're really distinguishing ourselves by the business model and just the overall customer experience, right? Everybody says, oh, you're the kayak for insurance. We're actually one step better because people know how to shop for flights, right? I'm going to go from point A to point B for the lowest cost. You can't do the same for insurance, which is why our decision support and then the whole model that we built is what sets us apart from the competition.
So, Amy, what do you think of this new model of insurance broker? Because that's essentially what you are.
Yeah, well, so a question that I have is, so in my company, something that we think about a lot is how to drive urgency in the customer purchase cycle. Right. And so, you attract customers, you educate them, but it actually takes a lot to actually get them to open up their wallet and pay for your product. And so I guess for a product it's not something that you're buying 5 times a year, it's seemingly complex life insurance, disability insurance. How do you drive that sense of urgency?
It's a great question, and urgency is an issue for financial services, but it's a big issue for insurance, right? Because it's less urgent than retirement or budget or day-to-day savings. And so the answer to that is really finding people who have already created that urgency for themselves and who've experienced an insurance trigger. And by that I mean a life event like having a baby, getting married, starting a new job, something that gets them thinking about insurance so that we can come in and provide the support and the advice to get all the way through to the end of the funnel about what insurance you actually need.
Scott.
I have a question because I didn't realize that. I figured you were lead gen. We all love models, which are the aggregators of lots of information suppliers and then putting it online, making it more efficient, disrupting the existing business. So since I don't know insurance, I did what any good investor would do is I emailed my insurance agent and said, so what do you think of this business? And the first question was, it sounds like you're an agent.
Right.
So you're online. And then the question was, well, you ask a bunch of questions, but if I actually talked to my agent, because I do believe in agents, I still use a travel agent, believe it or not, I probably shouldn't admit that. It's really efficient. So my question is, you say you're not in the refer business, then how do you make your money, number one? And then how do you actually compete with someone who's willing to come visit me or be my agent on the phone?
It's a great question. So we make our money the same way that your agent makes his money.
Which is refer.
Yeah. So it's a commission on sales, right? So if he makes a sale, sells you life insurance, sells you disability insurance, the insurance company pays him a commission that doesn't do anything to your price. This is one of the things about insurance that's great from a consumer perspective is that if you buy insurance company X's policy from an independent agent like we are,
so I agree with you. It means you're not as disruptive as a lot of the other businesses. You're really doing the model that's existed in insurance with independent agents. You're just bringing it online, asking me questions, and then referring to the insurance company who doesn't pay the referral fee.
Exactly.
It's not it's CPA, cost per acquisition, versus referral. I wonder whether your model is different enough.
So it is in that we are catering to the people who don't want to talk to people right up front, right? So there are people, we don't think the traditional agents like you're talking about are going away. It's going to be much like the wealth management and retirement space. There are going to be people who want to talk to a person face to face, who manage their portfolio, who they can call on the phone with questions. There is a whole segment of people that don't want that model, right? That use robo-advisors or do 80% of the transactions online and then maybe 20% of the big ones over the phone or face to face with the person. That's the segment of of people that aren't catered to in insurance. They are in banking, they are in wealth management, but not insurance. So that's the model that we're bringing to insurance.
So Jennifer, I actually want to follow up on something that Amy said about this creating urgency. Do you have data about your users? Can you tell? We all know big tech companies know almost everything about us. Do you know when somebody gets a dog? So you can actually email them and say, we know you get a dog. Do you know a lot of dogs that eat socks and you might need pet insurance because you're going to pay $5,000 at the vet? I know this from personal experience. Yeah. I'm going to go on and on and on about this. So, and you might want pet insurance.
Right. So we are targeting a couple different things. One is trying to find those pockets of pet owners or recent pet owners, for example, partnering with adoption shelters to get our information in those packets when people adopt a dog or cat.
Do you have to pay for that information, though?
No.
Okay.
So all of the advice is free. The nice thing about using an independent agent or broker is that advice is free, right? The insurance costs the same if you buy it through us or go directly to the insurance company. What you get is advice and guidance and helping you compare what's the best policy for you or your dog, for example.
But Deirdre's question was, are you paying to get the data? And the answer is you will. To get great data is a good idea to know that Deirdre has a dog that eats socks.
Right. Yes.
That's free information.
So we could pay to get that, but also we've developed a tool. It's called the Insurance Checkup. We call it insurance advice without the insurance agent. So through that, we collect a lot of data about your family situation. Do you have pets? What kinds are they, right? So we can give you advice about what insurance you actually need and what you don't need. What we learned, and this goes back to the question about urgency, is if you are honest with people and tell them what they don't need, because not everybody needs life insurance, right? If you're 22, you don't have kids, you don't have co-signed debt or mortgage, you don't need life insurance. And we tell you that. And if you do need life insurance, we'll tell you, you know what? Get term life and not whole life, right? Even though we can make a lot more money selling whole life. If you take that approach, which is pretty distinctive in the insurance space, it actually builds a lot of trust and gives you permission to recommend other things, and people actually act with more frequency on those recommendations.
So I tried the checkup, and I compared against SelectQuote.
Yeah.
And it clearly was easy and it was great, but I was driven there because I knew I was coming on this segment with you. So I think, consistent with the other questions, how do you get people there in the first place? And that's your cost of customer acquisition.
Sure. And, you know, that's the million-dollar question for financial services in particular. And for us, it's about reaching people who are at those segments in their life when they need insurance. So for some of the verticals that we're playing in, direct online marketing still makes sense. In life insurance, pet insurance, renter's insurance, disability in particular. But otherwise, what we're excited about is going one step upstream from the consumer to other non-insurance financial services providers. So financial advisors, brick-and-mortar agencies, whose customers need insurance, have expressed an interest, but those providers don't necessarily want to get into the business of selling insurance, so our offering makes sense for that.
Yay or nay? Amy, we're going to start with you. Would you introduce Jennifer to your investing partners?
I would. I'd be really interested. I mean, especially because I think you're going after insurance packages that I think a lot of people are not as familiar with. So I think that'd be really interesting.
Scott?
It's not disruptive enough for me, and millennials don't really want insurance, so no.
Okay, David, yay or nay?
So for me, I think the answer is no. I think that the differentiation is something I'm still not clear on, and really understanding how you get to the customers in the first place, with a sense of urgency that Amy talked about, I think is just a huge question to me.
But she's the smoothest talker who's ever been on this segment.
I know. Very impressive, Jennifer. Thank you very much. Thank you to Jennifer, and thank you to our judges. We have a quick break to take. We are back.